What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build credit, how to establish relationships with banks and financial institutions, and most importantly, how to get you access to high limit credit funding. If that's something you like to listen to, we definitely welcome you to subscribe. We put out a host of different credit and financial related topics. So you could always support our channel if you just like, share, or even just comment right down below. It helps our videos get out to a much wider audience. So we definitely appreciate that. Now for today's video, I'm doing another credit product review. And this is one of my favorite ones, and this is a soft pull Visa credit approval utilizing the shopping cart trick. Now in the past, I've done videos on the Sportsman Guide Visa as well as the Caesars Rewards Visa as well. Now this is another Visa credit card through Community Bank that you can trigger by utilizing the shopping cart trick. Now, for those of you who haven't seen any of the videos or any of the new subscribers, the shopping cart trick works with Community Bank. So Community Bank puts out a lot of different store cards, but they are the financer of these different store cards. Some of the store cards are only used for the particular store, but they do have a subset of cards that are also Visa cards. So aside from using them at a particular retail location or online, you could also use it anywhere Visas are accepted. Now, this particular card is the Williams-Sonoma Visa card. So Williams-Sonoma has a bunch of different, they actually have some pretty good products, household products. So, any rugs and they actually have a pretty good section for their kitchen supplies. So like mixers, bakeware, all types of different, kitchen appliances, coffee makers, electronics, things like that. So, and they have some pretty high quality products as well. But any type of household products, you guys can go check out their website. But essentially, the way to trigger the shopping cart trick is very similar to how you trigger some of these other ones. Now, the most important step is going to opt out prescreen.com and opting in. What you're doing is you're giving the credit bureaus permission to share your information with different credit card issuers. And so the key to it is opting in prior to setting up your account, because the way they do it is, they match your information from what you put when you go to opt in at optoutprescreen.com, and then the information that you enter on your online account. So that information has to sync up. So like your name, your address, date of birth, all that information has to match up in order for, you to trigger that offer. So the steps that you're going to do, and these are some recommended steps that have been successful with me as well as some other clients as well as some other subscribers. So what you're going to want to do, first and foremost, make sure you opt in. Then you're going to want to wait. I would say wait at least 5 days at a minimum, maybe even a little longer, maybe anywhere from 5 to 7 days, because sometimes your information isn't circulating yet. So if you do it immediately and then go try to trigger the approval, then it may not work. So you want to give it a couple days for your information to just disseminate through all these different systems. The second step you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create an online account. So generally you could just go sign up for a new account. You put your email, your name, your address, all that information, and then you create an online account. The next step you're going to want to do after you've verified your account is you're going to want to log out. You're going to want to clear all of your history. What I would recommend too that you do is just shut down your computer and restart it. So like shut it down, let your computer power cycle for like a minute, 45 seconds to a minute, turn it back on, and then what you're going to do is you're going to open up a browser in incognito mode. So if you have Google Chrome, you could just right click the icon and then just go down the menu, and it says open in incognito. And then you're going to go to like the top right corner where you see like those three dots that kind of look like a stop sign. I mean, not a stop, like a traffic light, like three dots. You're going to hit that, and then you're going to go and you're going to disable the pop-up blocker. So once you've disabled that, I would just go ahead and delete your history again. Go to the Williams-Sonoma website, log into your account, make sure you're logged in, and then you're gonna go through, select a couple items. I typically recommend selecting at least maybe $150 to $200 worth of items or more. And then another thing too, you're also just don't just go and go on the website and just click a couple things immediately and go to checkout, because these companies also have they analyze customer behavior on the back end, so they're also measuring like how long you've been on the page, what pages you're actually going to. They use other like heat mapping, you know uh, analytics and things like that to understand like your behavior. So you kind of want to mimic normal customer behavior. So you're typically not just going to go on a website, select two items within 10 seconds and just hit checkout. Usually you're going to browse through, so I would spend a couple minutes on the site. Don't maybe click on the add the first thing you see to the shopping cart. Maybe go through a couple tabs, kind of just try to mimic just normal activity that you'd probably do if you're actually browsing for some items online. And then I would say once you're on their site for a couple minutes, I would say maybe 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes maybe. Then hit that after you selected some items for checkout. Go to the checkout menu. So hit checkout, and then you'll generally, when this offer is triggered, you're going to enter in your shipping address, and then after you enter your shipping address, that's typically when that soft pull is happening behind the scenes. Now, again, you have to be able to qualify for this particular offer, so it's not going to work for everyone. So the key, or I guess the whole trick, is to be able to get this account without having to get a hard pull. And typically you'll know it's a hard pull when they're only asking for the last four. Now, there are instances where it does ask for the last four and it's still like a hard pull. One example is like BJ's MasterCard. They may only ask you for your last four, but it's still a hard pull. But with the shopping cart trick, generally when it's just asking for your last four, that's when it's a soft pull. Another thing you can do, the shopping cart trick still works if your credit report is locked or frozen. So what you may want to do as a precaution is just to freeze your Equifax credit report, or if it's easy, you could freeze all of them. The shopping cart trick still works. I was able to do it even though my credit report was frozen at the time, so it still works. I've confirmed that. So you could always do that for good measure. But yeah, once you get to where they're asking for your shipping details, you want to make sure that the shipping details matches the address that you use for your opt-out pre-screen. So there's a couple things you want to make sure in order to give yourself the best chances of accurately triggering that. So if there is an offer on the back end for you and you've gone through these steps, you should be able to get that offer. Now, a couple other variables you need to consider as well: the number of community bank cards or accounts that you already have. So, if you have 5 or 6 community bank accounts already, then you may not be able to trigger that just yet. Or if you just recently got a community bank account, then it may not work for you at at this particular moment. Another thing about community bank that they will do, if you open up too many community bank accounts within a short time frame, what they'll do is, even though they may approve you, once you get the card, they may have canceled it already before you even receive the card. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Community bank does seem to be somewhat inquiry and new account sensitive, so that's just one thing to be aware of. But definitely check it out. No harm, no foul. And if there's anyone else out here who has the community bank Williams-Sonoma Visa credit card, definitely let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. And again, like I said, it's not going to work for everyone, but it's worth a try to see if if it pops up for you. I know there were some people who said that they were trying to get like um, when I first did the Sportsman Guide, they weren't able to get the Sportsman Guide, but they were able to get the Caesars reward. So, maybe if you weren't able to get those two, you could try to see if you might have an offer for this. Because remember, it's going to be on a case by case basis. And just because you may have gotten the previous two doesn't mean you're necessarily going to qualify for this one. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. So don't chew my head off if you don't get the pop up. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is another type of soft pull community bank Visa issued card, which has a lot more value than some of their store cards where you can only use it there. Williams-Sonoma actually has a ton of great products, so it would be valuable whether you use it there or you use it outside. So definitely check that out and let me know what you think, or if you were able to get any results. And until next time, y'all take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.